because it is controlling arms embargo on the side, but not in the on the floor
of
okay.
Really is in April in multiple and just late manifest this that has been for last 8 months. As you know, in after Tripoli, he believes on the ground to the Libyan army, in part because he thought that with the military superiority awarded to him because of international support from the UAE, Egypt in part, but also strong political blessing from the Americans at the time, that he would manage to subdue and then bring about what he and his backers hoped to achieve, which was essentially a reset of the political structure in Libya. Why was this important? Why has this always been a central pillar of his approach? Because by resetting new legitimacy on the Libyan, which are the forces he heads and which are backed by Arab neighbors, would therefore be part of the legitimate security structure. At the moment, they are not recognized internationally because international recognition is awarded to the GNA. So these were, these were the drivers of what led Haftar to launch that offensive, and what pushed some of the support that was thought that it would be a walk into, was not full 24 hours. The capital dragged more than 50 tragic on the 30 died. The main area strikes various parts of the capital, and 35 also caused about a quarter of the city was off limits, forcing about 200,000 people out of their homes and were actually displaced on end. Certainly, by the end of 2019, we thought that the days of the Tripoli-based government were counted. I was in Tripoli in early January, and you could see that the front line literally kilometers away from the center. That decision to really support the base government at the time, the Tripoli Authority. In April, of also offices on the ground, and also Syrian in the Libyan coastal Tripoli West, an important military base, Wutia air base in West Libya, in late May. June was Russian military that were on the ground after the last house was served as staging for. So essentially, mid June, we see a reversal of the dynamic of the war and movements towards Libya. where now situation Central has two key what feels has the cards that aligned in order to advance. So we can say that Turkish military intervention was from being a defensive intervention to defend the GNA, help it stand its from being from capitulating, switch if possible. We have foreign recently saying that they fought forces claim Syria, claim control of Eastern Libya terminal leading to the 2050 demarcation lines oil. So this new challenges actors have a threat extremists intervene advance consider line the line is those extremes potentials of forces Egypt have been to here conflicting ideas regarding ceasefire. Back as conflict part idea we'll see when in Berlin early in and sort of drafted what was supposed to be a roadmap for negotiations that would switch, would move the country away from war and towards a peaceful settlement. The idea was that there would be a ceasefire almost based on equal terms. This idea that you would have officers on that would see the police was in of in parliament loyal to the Tripoli Council, 13 loyal to Tobruk, but also sort of 50 negotiations with the two winners, but turn that changed. For LNA, now has that you go to equal term and you negotiate equal term, yeah. Really signed and this Turkey official the argument. They argue that we'll see is not achieved current status quo. Status quo, editorial to advance to achieve sustainable. Okay? I a lot by my colleague. We achieved what after not man project means Eastern a sort of within after finding the foreign support. Only then is achievable of Turkey. Is that we face off today sort of threat central, and that would further and there's no the problem and with this. The problem the formation that was outlined in Berlin again reinforces the idea that a political settlement in Libya is based on a new power sharing deal, that you need to go to negotiations on equal terms and forge an agreement on a new government. So this essentially means a new power sharing, a new skhirat, if you want. In itself, the problem is that neither say now more than even the power, but there can we have an and I don't I understand situations. I attempts to forge an agreement on a new power sharing deal in Libya repeated times over the years, they've always failed. The failure is in agreeing on who negotiates and eventually who do you agree to nominate as your president. So that the absence of an SRSG now, maybe when led without SRSG, it's a problem.